So I think the hikers and the breakers would probably realize that they don't need to, get 50 or 40 in the power play, right? But they can capitalize later on with wickets in hand. Right? And both teams, I would say the strength, I don't know if you want to discuss the strength, Alan. So what do you think the strengths of both teams going into this encounter?
Well, both teams are generally strong overall, but you would like to think that both teams have very strong top order batting. And each team, when they're in the field, they would want to make as many early inroads as possible to restrict the batting, because at the top order of both teams, you have players like Sunil Ambrose, you have players like Desron Maloney and Dylan Douglas and so on. You have players who, if they are there for 10 overs or close to that, they're going to take the game away from you. So you'd want to get rid of them as early as possible. I think that's the strongest point of both teams, but they also have bowlers who can do the damage as well.
Yeah, certainly hikers. When you look at Salvan Brown, extremely experienced cricketer, Desmond Maloney, the captain, who has played for Windward Islands, and Dylan Douglas, who has also played first class cricket, well, at least plays listed cricket. Tremendous talent. So those three are very capable players, and any of them batting, let's say, up to the 7th over of the innings, you expect the hikers to be at a decent score. But although the breakers do have a good all-round team, I believe that the batting is still too dependent on Sunil Ambrose. I don't know if you make or if you share similar sentiments.
Based on what we have seen so far, I can't disagree with you, because it tends to be the case over the editions, especially what we have seen in this one in particular, based on the composition of their team, that if you dismiss Sunil quite early, then it puts the rest of their batters under severe pressure. And so I would concur with that point as well. Having said that, though, I think the others, it's an opportunity for them. It's an opportunity for them to put their hands up and to show the others who are watching, and also the other members of their team, that, hey, even if the skipper goes early, I am able to do the job, and I am putting my hand up as somebody you need to look out for in this tournament.
Yeah, it's really, and that is one of the beauties again about this VPL tournament, with so many different players in there. And as we mentioned earlier, in the first game, there are a few players missing as well, and it's an opportunity, I believe, for some of the younger players to put their hands up and say, well, let us actually capitalize. So let's see how this one goes. I'm really happy. I can see the spectators coming into the stands, Alonso, and this is a repeat of the finals last time. Who do you give the edge to, Alonso?
Well, on current form, I would give the edge to the hikers, but it doesn't rule out the salt pan breakers winning them against them here today. And it's a very slight edge that I'm giving as well. It's not a big one at all. Yeah, very slight edge. It only goes to the keeper.
Yes, interesting. And I know Sunil Ambrose, extremely competitive player, cricketer, and he's going to want to put things right from yesterday.
Absolutely. That is one thing that we could bank on. He has that mindset, maybe of a Viv Richards or of Virat Kohli, very aggressive and very competitive. He doesn't like losing at all, and will do what he thinks he deems necessary in order to win the game. And of course, a lot of that performance will rest on his shoulders. So that's it from us. For now, we will come back with live action in game number 12 of the VPL 3.0 from the Ashes. We'll be back with
From the ashes to the stadium. hearts and their soul. They're not giving up, no. Doubts and God will collide. Hear them shout, spirits high. Bring your fight, bring your friends. Come out hard to defend it. Whoa, whoa. From the ashes to the stadium. Rip me out. T10. From the ashes to the stadium. Rip me out. T10. Hey. T10. For this moment, as we rise up each day, it's the game of the people. Come on, let's play. Bring your fight, bring your friends. Come out hard to defend. Whoa, whoa, whoa. From the ashes to the stadium. CPS. T10. From the ashes to the stadium. CPS. T10. With their hearts and their soul, they're not giving up, no. Doubts and God will collide. Hear them shout, spirits high. Bring your fight, bring your friends. Come out hard to defend it. Whoa, whoa. From the ashes to the stadium. Rip me out. T10. From the ashes.
Mister?
And what a way to start off game number 12 of the VPL Dream 11 VPL 3.0. Excellent catch there by the man at square leg. A pull shot attempted there.
Yeah, really, really good start there, Alan, too. We almost missed that one. But extraordinary catch, I would say, there at square leg. And I think it's Salvan who Salvan goes. Unfortunate tournament thus far. But really, really good start there for the Breakers. You saw up on Breakers. I think Captain Sunalambis would be happy with that start. Wasn't the best ball, but certainly a great catch.
Yes, I concur with that, Miles, and it's a brilliant start for the Breakers. No runs, 1 wicket. It brings Douglas into the wicket very early, so he's virtually opening in this game. And it's a good start by Samuel, wicket in the first over. And this one is edged, and he's gonna get 4, but he was by no means in control of it as he was looking to drive that one on the up. Kishore.
Yeah, really good catch, really good start again there now by Dillon. Yes, it's an edge, but I'm sure he'll be happy to take that. One of the players who are looking to really show the world what he's capable of, and he started well there.
So Samuel and this one is another good delivery, appeal by the Breakers team, not upheld by umpire Abbott. And this one is 4 runs, and Douglas has gotten off with a bang here. He's coming quite early in the innings, but so far he has gotten 8 runs from his 3 deliveries, so 4.4. And he would want to continue the momentum and to give his team the impetus that they require at the start here. As we are in the first over, it's 8 for 1. 4 deliveries have been bowled by Samuel as we look at the replay. So this one goes down to... And this one, he picks it up. It's swept very powerfully over square leg. And that's 6 runs. Well struck there by Douglas.
Outstanding shot by Dylan Douglas. Wrong line, but had to, bring out the sweep and had to execute despite it being a bad ball. And well put away there by Dylan Douglas.
Yes, that was an excellent shot. And let's see how Samuel responds. And Douglas just goes into his crease, gets behind the line, punches it down to long on. So that's 15 runs, 1 wicket off the first over.
Yeah, and that's the kind of intelligent cricket we have been seeing from both Dylan Douglas and Desmond Maloney. That after picking up the boundary all in the over, they tend to just rotate the strike. And again, it's really, I think, a reflection of their coach Irvin Warrican. He'll be telling them, get the early boundary, and once that is accomplished, do just rotate the ball, and because those singles do add up. I'll say put pressure on the bowling team when you rotate the strike like that. So very good start, Alonso, 15 from the first over.
Yes, they will be very happy with that start, except that they have lost Salvan quite early again in this game, which they would want him to spend some more time as they get deeper into the tournament. As we see the new bowler into the attack from the Beckway end is Dylan Johnson, and they will be depending on Dylan, who is a very experienced bowler, to make some inroads here.
Yeah, Dylan is certainly an experienced campaigner. Has played first class cricket a few years. West Indies A team as well, and so he, in this shorter format, would bring all the experience and skills that we know he has, and certainly he will be looking to put some pressure on this Hikers batting. And it's interesting, Alan, so that these two batters are quite prolific in this VPL tournament.
Shot. That's all you need to say about that ball. That was well put away by Douglas. Shortish, and pulled it forward of square. Nice looking ball.
Yeah, these guys are known to score runs. In fact, in the 24 matches played so far by Dylan Douglas, he has 550 runs at an average of 39. In fact, he has 40 sixes in this VPL. I think that's the most sixes hit by any batsman in the tournament. And on the other end, he has Desmond Maloney.
It's a shortish one there by Johnson, fended down for a single down to third man. And Johnson will be saying to him, you pulled me away very easily in front of square the last one, but I still have a little bit of gas.
Yeah.
Even though you got away that one so easily.
Dylan is going to say, come again, show me you can do that again, That's the kind of player he is. But we spoke about Desron being at the other end with Dylan, and Desron in this tournament, 24 matches, similar to Dylan, and he has 423 runs, an average of 30 with 29 sixes. So between these two players, they have some almost 70 sixes. Really good. So it's an interesting partnership here. We see umpire Butler taking the field this afternoon as well.
Absolutely. This time Johnson is down the leg side, adjudged wide, correctly so by umpire Butler. The two fielders out, a man at deep square leg and a man at third man. So those are the two fielders out to the right-handers as Johnson bowls to them. Left arm around.
Yes, that field is hard to predict. What is the plan of Captain Sunil Ambrose and Dylan Johnson? I see there's a slight change in feel, and this one now is a bit more. You probably could predict that they're going to be bowling a bit straighter, right? And maybe holding back the length a bit, pulling back the length. So this I could understand. There's a clear plan here from Dylan Johnson and Sunil.
And so said, so done, and the feel is in place for that shot. As you said, he would be looking based on the field to pull the length back and bowl quite straight to these batsmen.
Yeah, still a good cricket there from Desron. Not trying to hit against the wind. Just rotating the ball, just turning it off the hips and getting one. And against maybe the most experienced bowler of the breakers, having gotten the boundary so all your innings, then you could afford to do that now. You could afford to just rotate and maybe end up with 8 to 10 runs off the over without taking any great risk.
That's very true. As we see another slight adjustment to the field, the man at square leg being brought a little squarer as Johnson bowls to Douglas. This one was a little bit quicker. I think that one is the quickest one that he has bowled thus far in the innings.
For second day, I thought that one was a wide. It must have been close to a wide, but was it called wide or it wasn't? You know?
No wide call.
Yeah, I tell you what, I won't question the decision making of umpire Butler. You know, an experienced first class umpire, international player, former for West Indies as well.
And you could see what Douglas is trying to do there, as that one is a dot ball, because there's no one behind square on the offside on the boundary, and he knows that there's a shortest length that is being given to him. He's trying just to run it in the gap so that he'll get an easy 4.
Yeah, but I think again, is intelligent batting, not wanting to take the risk, especially after getting out all the boundary, because that ball was quite similar to the first one that he pulled for 4. Right, but I guess he realized that, you know, we have gone 7 runs off the over so far. Dillon is probably the best bowler for the breakers. Let's see how it goes against the others.
Goes for the pull shot on that occasion. He's beaten, and that's the end of the over. None for 7 for Johnson after his first over. It's 22 for 1 after 2 overs here, Kishore.
Yeah, good start. I think in the balance. 11 runs are over so far. 11 runs are over so far, but I think after 15 of the first over, the breakers would feel as though they have pulled back really nicely. So not a bad start for the breakers. They would be happy that they have gotten the wicket of Salvan Brown, who we know is quite capable of scoring a lot of runs, and then, you know, 22 off 2, you know, strikers would feel comfortable as well, I guess.
Absolutely. And Javon Samuel will continue to bowl. And good length on that delivery, quite full. Good defensive length ball here.
Javon is a very good player, you know. He I think this is his first outing in the VPL, but locally he is known as a consistent bowler. Varies his pace really well.
And he was robbed of some runs there. And sometimes you are told as a batsman to play very straight, but if you play too straight, you can be robbed of some runs, as you saw there, Kish.
Yeah. Well played by Desron, straight down the ground. However, I don't think that would have made it to the boundary, but certainly would have gotten at least 2.
And this time, Douglas goes into the gap between mid-wicket and long on, and this is something that is notable about the batting. As you could see the class with these batsmen, they're finding the gaps more regularly than some of the others.
Yes, certainly aim for the gap, either in the gap or over. But this shot is on against Javon because he doesn't really turn the ball. So he's pretty much just angling the ball into the batsman, and Dillon and Desron would be aware that, you know, they can just play on the onside, which is the where the breeze is blowing across the ground. So I said that shot is certainly on, as we see Captain Tunnel made some slight adjustments there.
And this one has been driven forward of square on the offside for 4. Lovely shot there again by Douglas, and he's on the go. He's on 28 of only 12 deliveries.
Classy shot there by Dylan Douglas, and Maloney just stood there wondering, like, where are you running to? You know, why are you running for that shot? You know, really well placed out to deep cover. Dylan is a classy player. You know, he's been looked in. I think his role model is Steve Smith from Australia, and you know, he looks to have that sort of potential. I'll be really happy if he can, you know, focus a bit more and keep being, just get the consistency going with his batting.
And this time he turns it off the back foot down to the man at deep mid wicket for a single. So follows up the boundary with a single. Intelligent cricket. It's 32 for 1. One delivery to go in the third.
Yeah, and these two batters, they really do that well. Rotate the strike, they'll get all the boundary off the over and then just rotate. You know, that is how this cricket should be played. So not because it's 10 overs mean everything has to go to the boundary. And they have really shown how we can achieve that.
And this one again is driven, but he doesn't find the gap, Maloney, as he comes into strike against Samuel, and that's the end of the over. So 3 overs have gone, 32 for 1.
Yeah, so that's 10.67 runs per over. And I think that this is really now shaping up to be a good start. I think, you know, the Hikers certainly has a plan, and they will think that if they could finish this next over, the power play, with maybe another 10 runs over, they'll be leaving at 40, and then the final 6 overs they can push on to maybe a score of 120.
And that score is certainly on the cards. We saw what happened in the first game when it was only 8 runs of the first 2 overs, and yet the Darkview Explorers were able to push on to almost 120. And I would dare say that if these 2 batsmen are there at the end of the 9th over or at the end of the 10 overs, that they will be somewhere beyond that.
Dillon owes himself on the tournament a half century. He's too good of a player to be out in at 30 and 40. He needs to be someone who, if anyone is going to get close to 100 in this tournament, I expect it to be Dillon Douglas. Will that happen today? Who knows?
Well, let's wait and see as Captain Ambrose brings himself into the attack. This is swept forward a square, and that one looks like it's on the way to the boundary. And so said, yes, so done. That's another good 4 there, and well placed by Douglas.
Another outstanding shot by Dillon. Clearly identified that gap, right? And played it really well, you know. I think Ambrose will now have to look to adjust his line somewhat, maybe his length too, but because of his feel, I don't think he can go too much on the offside. So let's see where he goes now.
Alright, so he pulls the length back slightly, goes just wide of off stump. Dot delivery.
But you can see Dillon a bit disappointed there. He's disappointed, thinking that he missed out there.
This one is wide on the leg side. Correctly called by umpire Butler. 36 for 1. 37 with that wide.
Ambrose is feeling the pressure here because he realized that Dillon, that you don't have much room for error against Dillon.
This time he attempts the same sweep shot. That one was quite full actually, so it was good that he got a bat on it. It was quite full, but he was unable to find a gap on that occasion, fielded by Joseph. And
not only was it fuller, but it was a bit more middle and off, and I think certainly more risk was involved in that one than the 4 shot that he swept for 4. So I'm not sure if that was a great judgment there from him.
Yes, that one may have been premeditated. As he punches this one off the back foot down to the man who comes off the deep mid-wicket boundary, looks like Haywood. And it's 38 for 1. 2 deliveries remaining in the power play.
Yeah, what was interesting there, Alonso, is that after that shot, and from the previous ball, the captain went down and spoke to him, telling him, you know, let's play some orthodox cricket as well.
And that's very good. That's well struck there by Captain Maloney over the offside square, and that's a nice boundary. And there's 1 delivery remaining in the power play, but that's 42 for 1, the current score.
I dare say that Maloney is an underrated cricketer, right? And he's such an intelligent player, right? That, you know, he picks his bowler, you know, he looks at the field, and, you know, he executes well. You know, not all the time, maybe not as consistent as he would like, but certainly a really smart cricketer.
This one he turns it down to the man at the mid-wicket boundary. He comes off swiftly, keeps it down to 1 run, and that's the end of the power play. 43 for 1 after 4 overs. And what do you make of the start so far, Kish?
Really good start for the Hikers. They are in the driver's seat now. Yes, they lost. Yes, they lost Salvan Brown off the first ball to an outstanding catch. However, you would say that Dillon Douglas and Maloney, they have, you know, took up the responsibility thus far. They've taken up the responsibility, and getting their team to 43 for 1 after 4 overs is really a good start. 1 wicket there for Javon Samuel. However, for 25 runs, you would feel that, you know, he's probably given away a bit too much. Maybe he would have liked to see that certainly under 20. 1 over from Sunil Ambris for 11 runs, and 1 from Dillon Johnson as well, 7 runs. But I think that Hikers would be probably the happier team at this point.
Yes, they'll definitely be, and they would be very happy to still have these 2 at the crease, and as long as they remain there, they would be quite pleased. As we see coming into the bowling, Denson Hoyt coming into the bowling from formerly the E.T. Joshua Airport end to bowl to Maloney. Punch off the back foot for a single to extra cover.
An easy single there to Dajal Maloney. Denson Hoyt is a really good cricketer too. He has been playing this cricket at this level for a while now. Well, certainly national level. Really, you know, he does the basics right, you know, and good talent.
Douglas strikes that one very firmly down to long on. Single conceded. In his last performance, Hoyt he took 2 key wickets and bowled a very good spell in the middle overs, and I think that his captain would be looking for him to repeat the dose here today.
Yeah, I think he bowled the last over or so in this game yesterday and did a really good job. So Sunil will be looking for the same from him today.
Called wide by umpire Abbott. A little bit too wide outside off stump. So it's 45 for 1 in the 5th over. And of course the power play has ended, so the field has spread. And there's a deep mid wicket, a man at long on. Square leg and fine legger in the circle. There's a third man. There's a man at point, there's a man on sweeper cover boundary, extra cover, and a long off.
And despite that last delivery being a wide, clearly there's a plan to bowl wide off the wicket. Not that wide, but wide off the wicket. So I expect him to be pushing out, as you see. I think is Haywood on the boundary there, and the sweeper boundary, and then Dillon Johnson long off. So I expect him to be pushing it outside and at least limiting the boundary.
This one is quite straight, which goes against probably the plan, maybe a double buff. But he still kept it to a single, so he would be happy with the result.
Yeah, well, with the field, he can afford to bowl a little straighter as well. Just in case he misses that mark outside off, he has the protection there. Good field placing, I would say, from Captain Sunil Ambris. And we know Sunil is a very experienced campaigner. Has captain St. Vincent team and the current captain for the Windward Volcanoes, and obviously has played for West Indies. So he has that experience, and all he will be asking of his bowlers to execute. And
this one has been struck for 6 runs. There was a while in the flight when I thought it was going to land in the arms of the man at deep mid wicket, but it went all the way. Good shot by Douglas.
Really confident shot there by Dillon Douglas. You know, he knows that the boundaries, you know, once he gets it up, it's going to go into the wind, and probably he has an advantage there. So really good executed shot by Dillon, and a needed boundary, I would say, off the over.
And it was a slow delivery as well by Hoyt. This one is dragged, and that will be 4 more runs. Dragged to the onside. The mid wicket is quite straight on this occasion. And that one went more along where a conventional deep mid wicket might have been, and that was 4 more runs to Douglas.
And yes, certainly but what we saw there was the ball nipped back a little bit, just enough to help Dillon to just tug it on the onside. And so the shot was on, and you know, he got value for the slight risk that was involved in that shot. But it's just to show 2 balls, 2 deliveries, and 10 runs, and it has changed the over completely. You know, so now we have 14 runs off the over so far. 1 ball to go.
Yes, and Douglas is on 45 of 20 deliveries. As you said, you know, we'll see how he ends up in this game if he's able to bat through the 10 overs. So he's 45 of 20. His captain is on 9 of 8 deliveries. Let's see how Hoyt responds. Wide again, he goes back to the wide line, but this time he just oars a bit too far outside the off stump.
That is some pressure there, Alonso. That is pressure. So the previous ball, it came back in slightly to Dillon. It was outside half, it came back, but Dillon went with that shot. And that one went away even because he pushed it across wider.
So another wide call, still a bit too wide outside the off stump.
That was a close call. That one was a close call. I'm looking to see if I could get a replay and that one to determine if the umpire got that, let's see. Yes, slightly outside. Well called by Maria. I can tell you Maria is on point today.
Yeah, slightly outside that tram line that is used as a guide for the umpires.
And Alonso, the standard of umpiring has been really good in this tournament thus far. Obviously, it's being led by Dighton Butler, but the others are really doing themselves well.
This one is pulled. Excellent feeling by the man on the deep mid-wicket boundary. Keeps that one down to 1 run.
Yeah,
that's excellent feeling.
I think that's Andrew Thomas out there. Really good feeling. Save some runs there for the breakers. These runs are what sometimes determine the outing of a game and the outcome of a game. And so, Sunil will be asking this of the players, especially with this great start, 60 from 5 overs. If they continue this, they mean that they're at 120, Alonso, because they are now 60 halfway point. So with this same momentum, with this same flow, and as I called it earlier, that if there is a batsman in this tournament to reach close to 100, he'll be Dillon Johnson. I know persons like players like Miles Bascom and those guys would be saying, don't count them out. And we are going to hear Miles shortly on commentary. But I think Dillon is on course here today to get close to 100. If he bats another 20 balls, he would get close to 100.
Absolutely, at the strike rate that he's going. And earlier we mentioned the fact that if these two bat all the overs, that they would not only get to 120, but they're likely to exceed it because they will accelerate even further towards the end of the innings, as we see Hayward being brought into the attack by the Saltburn Breakers captain Ambrose to see if he can stem the flow of runs and maybe take up one of these two batsmen for an all-important wicket.
Alonso, on that same point, Captain Ambrose would know that if they get a wicket at this point, right, the others to come are not as good as these guys, so they might be able to pull back the run rate if they get a wicket.
And this one has been struck firmly over mid-wicket for 6. Top shot there by Douglas as he remonstrates with his bat, and that's his 50. So he has now brought up his 50 with that shot, 22 deliveries, as he remonstrates, punching his bat in celebration.
Yeah, really classy, outstanding shot there by Dillon. And he started this tournament, this VPL, with this match with only 2 half centuries from 24 matches in the VPL so far. So I'm sure that this third one he would know was overdue, I would say, with someone of his talent. But what he's doing today is obviously adding to the tally of 6s that he also has in this tournament. But he does dangerous. Sunil Ambrose right now would be worried about Dillon batting another 2 or so overs.
Yes, and he's having a short chat with his bowler. Maybe a change of plans as we see an adjustment to the field. So they feel that at point on the boundary is being moved to sweeper cover. Seems like they're going to concentrate just wide of off stump because there are now 3 fielders just backward of square on the offside in the circle. So said, so done based on the field.
Well, the problem that Hayward would have now is that these guys are hitting the ball so cleanly that when are not pushing in the opposite direction, they're going to clear the boundary. And being an off spinner is still difficult.
And he's taken it. What a catch! That has to be the catch of the tournament for me because that was struck like a bullet back to him.
It would take something special to beat that as play of the day. Really outstanding catch, extraordinary from Jeremy Haywood. And as you see, Dylan Douglas would consider himself a bit unlucky there. Really well played shot, but unfortunately straight to the fielder.
Yes, he would consider himself unlucky. He has gotten some soft dismissals so far for the tournament, but that one for sure, credit must be given to the bowler for taking that catch. That one was full, and he drove it very firmly. I think firmly is an understatement for how hard he drove that. And if Jeremy didn't take that catch, he would have taken his midriff straight to the boundary.
He probably would have. So it's in self-defense. It's sort of reflexive action there. But it's those kind of wicket, those kind of catches. They have the potential to change the course of the game, and that is probably what breakers needed at this point. And so that's a really welcome breakthrough for the breakers.
So that was the highest second wicket partnership of the tournament thus far. 66 runs added by Douglas and Maloney. Maloney is on 9. And there's a no ball, and now this one will be called a free hit. The highest second wicket partnership of the tournament so far was brought up by Romano Pierre and Shaman Hooper of the Dark Explorers.
Yeah,
free hit.
I think it's almost unacceptable for a spinner at this level to be bowling a no ball.
He gets away with it as it's struck down to long off. There will only be a single. That one he bowled it very full, and Maloney was not able to get under it.
Yeah, he was fortunate there that only one run, Hikers got off that no ball, that free hit.
This one is in the air, but it will fall well short of the man coming off the extra cover boundary who picks it up well. It's Rickford Walker, and he bounces the throw into keeper swing.
Good strong throw off the boundary there from Rickford. One bounce to Cian Swede. We'll be looking to get some runs today.
So Maloney goes back into his crease, punches this one into the gap on the offside, takes a comfortable single. It's 71 for 2 at the end of the 6th over here in this clash with the Lassufre Hikers taking on the Salpon Breakers.
So interestingly there, so Haywood took one wicket with that over, an important wicket off of Dylan Douglas, but still 11 runs came off of that. So if they continue, and Maloney, coach Irvin Warrican would be telling his players, they are going to be saying to the lads coming in, just bat the 10 overs, rotate the strike, get a boundary over, and you're well on course to get in close to 120, which I believe is a target that would take some good batting to achieve on this track, chasing second.
Yes, it will require a very good innings from someone in the Salpon Breakers to overhaul that if they indeed get to the 120 mark, the Hikers, as we see a change in bowling from the former E.T. Joshua Airport end, as we see Jeremy Lane comes into the bowling. Medium pacer, all-rounder, good talent.
Yeah, Jeremy tried to bowl a good length. I think that would be his approach here.
This one is called wide. That one sitting quite close there.
Yes, wide, but interesting there. That one did not get off the pitch. And so just sort of skid through on the ground to see and swing. But certainly a wide side, but he's going to be looking to bowl a nice length ball to outside off based on the field to Desmond Maloney.
This time he goes for the big hit over the lawn region. He's beaten outside the off stump. Seems to be a little bit of a wind movement there from Lane.
Yes, and that is what he's going to do. That is his ideal ball. However, what I've seen from Jeremy over the years is he will still give you 1 or 2 bad balls in an over. So I think Desmond can still afford to be patient and wait on those 2 bad balls or so to dispatch.
This one is full. Brilliant feeling again by Joseph, who is also a goalkeeper, and he went down goalkeeper like to haul that one in at point.
The intention from this run day was clearly to just barely beat that feeler and then bisect the other two on the boundary. It wasn't the perfect execution, but good intention.
So it brings Otney Lewis into strike. He has faced 2 deliveries so far for 2 runs. 73 for 2 in the 7th over. This one is edge. Oh, and it's just short of the man on a third man. He gets that Kish.
Yes. Luckily for Otney Lewis, he didn't have the pace to go all the way to the third man fielder. Hooper, it is Sheldon Hooper, one of the displaced players from the volcano, the Asave volcano. He's from the area of Peterbiddle.
Very good length there by Lane, and again Maloney was attempting that shot that you speak of to get it past the man at point and into the gap between this sweeper cover and the man at third man.
Yeah, I think it's good bowling so far from Jeremy. Only 4 runs so far from his 4 deliveries in this over. I think that with these next 2 balls, he's going to be looking to maintain that same line and length. I think if he can save a boundary here in the over, then that will be a great accomplishment.
This time he goes just a little too wide, but you could see what the plan is. It's to keep it wide of off stump. Don't go into the easy hitting arc of the batsman. Although Otney Lewis is almost 2 meters, so a man around 6'5" or there about 6'4", 6'5", so he has a long reach. So he might still be able to get onto one of those deliveries. That one is even wider, and correctly adjudged wide, of course.
And now more pressure is on Jeremy to finish after those 2 wide deliveries. More wide, because he's now moved to 6 from 4 deliveries. A boundary now could take it to 10 runs out from this over, and then there's that bonus delivery that could take it even more. So he pressures him now to maintain that line just outside half stump to the field. I think we are seeing a slight adjustment now with Sunil Ambis saying bowl straighter, so giving him a feel now that would give him more comfort that he can bowl straight as opposed to aiming for the wide of the crease. Let's see if he executes it, because remember the ball, the wind is blowing that side. I'm sure that Otney will be looking to play on the onside in this point.
And so said, so done. There was an attempt by him to go over the onside, but he was beaten. And so there's 1 delivery remaining in the 7th over. Lane is bowling. He still has only conceded 6 runs, although quite a bit of them have been wide deliveries.
I suspect that Otney is still going to feel that he needs to get a boundary off this over and look for that same shot. As if Jeremy can bowl that same line just outside Austin without giving 1 more wide in this over. So let's see how he finishes this one.
And he's successful. There was a big shot there essayed by Lewis, but he was beaten outside the off stump. So 77 for 2. Things have become a little bit becalmed since the dismissal of Douglas, but they're still in a good position. They have 3 overs remaining. They're 77 for 2. How many you see them getting from this point, Kish?
Well, they're still going at 11 runs per over, right? So they'll still believe, especially with Maloney there. Interestingly, again, 77 for 2 or 7 overs. Maloney is only 13 from 13 balls, so he is not timing it as well as he would like. However, that could change in a matter of 2 balls, right? And I would expect that if he stays there until even the 9th over, as we see Sunil Ambis comes back into the attack, he is going to look to reach close to 35 or even 40, right? So he would know that it is his time now to accelerate and get his strike rate up to 1 that could take his team to maybe close to 120.
And So as you mentioned, Sonny Lambris comes into the bowling. 3 fielders behind square on the offside, so bowling around the wicket, bowling off breaks. Seems as if he'll be trying to push it across with the angle, across the right-hander. Let's see how he approaches it.
And because of the nature of the game, giving away one, which you see that field on the onside, you can take one, and that's what Sunil is saying. Take one if you want, and we know Sunil is not going to turn the ball. He's going to push maybe straight middle on and leg stump and try to give him one.
And this one goes for 5 more than 1. That's 6 runs. That one is a little bit too full. I think he ordered a little bit there. His length there, Kish.
The length is way too full to Maloney. A player of Maloney's class, he's going to dispatch that for 6 most times or not. And so Sunil would know that that is a little too full. What he wants to do is just pull same line, but just pull back the length a bit, and say go in the wind if you want.
That's around where he was looking for in terms of the length and the line this time, but the appeal negated by pitching outside the leg stump.
Yeah, Butler is never going to give that out, I can tell you. But there was Sunil will still try. But that was a better length. Better execution of what he wanted to do.
And this time, it seems as if he hit that with maybe half a bat or even a third of a bat. But he's a very big man, as we alluded to before, about 2 meters tall, 6'6", there, about 6'5", and he got it for 6 straight. Very good shot.
Yes, really good shot there in the end. One hand, good bat it must be, that Otney has in his hand there. Sunil, expensive so far, 23 from 1.3 overs. So he is going to have to finish this over really well. I think they're still going to go. In fact, the run rate has now moved up to 12, right? And that is on the 120 mark. So I think that Hikers is certainly going to look to even push on, maybe just a touch over 120, 125, maybe 130.
Well, they'll be aiming for somewhere in that vicinity as we see that full toss being punched down to long off. You'll be a bit disappointed with that, Lewis. You would have wanted a bit more from that full delivery.
And it seems to me that Sunil would have held back that one a bit. So he held back that one with the pace.
So this one is turned just behind square for a single. Joseph comes off the boundary quite swiftly.
Yes, good batting there by Maloney, but Sunil will take one. Otney is going to look to finish this one with a maximum, I'm sure. But would he go straight or would he go across to the leg side? I think the better option would be to go straight.
And he goes over the leg side, and he goes a long way over the leg side for 6. And that's 98 for 2 after 8 overs, and Lewis is on fire here.
Yeah, and Sunil offered him the ideal length for him to just get under that ball, and picked it up really nicely. Did Otney Lewis. Really good batting from Otney. It's shaping up to be 130. It's shaping up to be 130, Allison.
Well, the longer they stay at the crease, this pair, and we keep saying this pair because what happens is that as they lose a wicket, you seem to just be bringing in another batsman who could continue to hit the ball, and that's the mindset that the Hikers seem to have. They just keep going at the bowling. So a wicket may fall in the over, but what you're seeing from some teams is that they will block the next few deliveries. The Hikers don't do that.
No, and if you look at it, 2 more overs to go, 12 balls. I can't see the Hikers getting less than 22 runs here. So the minimum they would accept at this point is 120, right? If the captain, and by all means, the way Otney is going here, he seems to be even greater threat than the captain. He's now, I think, 200 strike rate. So if these 2 players, any of them stay there until the 10th over, they're going to get at least 125, closer to 130.
So Lane will be bowling the 9th over of the innings. He'll be bowling to Maloney. And this one seems to have missed the cut strip.
Well, last over, the captain did give Jeremy a feel that he can bowl straighter. I think he reverted now to the force plan, which would be to bowl wide again at the crease. I'm not sure because if it's Maloney, and maybe he might change for Otney, but I would say the execution so far hasn't really been that well to show that Jeremy is capable of bowling outside half stump only.
This one, there's an appeal there for leg before as it struck Maloney on the pad. We'll see the replay. He was well across his stumps, so he may have gotten just outside the line as we look at the replay.
Was that the edge? Because was there a signal? I haven't seen a signal from the umpire. Was there a signal?
No, I haven't seen a signal for a leg bind.
So that's a run. So I suspect that umpire Mario Abbott figured that there was an edge on that one. The replay doesn't indicate that though.
Yes, it was quite close if there was not an edge.
Yeah, I think it was slightly outside. Certainly hit him on the just outside our stump. So in terms of the appeal, I don't think it would have been, I think she made the right decision. But I don't think that he had any bat on that one.
This one goes back again to the line outside off stump, as you see Maloney having a chat with Lewis in terms of a change of approach, and he's going to change his bat. Seems like it has been working quite well so far. I mean, he hit a one-handed six well over long off. So I don't know. That bat might be just a message maybe as well.
Well, it's good bowling from Jeremy Lane there. That was a good ball just outside off stump, and I think Otney tried to heave that one over the long on.
This one is turned behind square for 4. A good shot there by Lewis. He finds the gap behind square with both fielders inside the circle, and once he found the gap, it was always 4 for the taking.
That's a smart cricket shot there. Just went across slightly and just tuck it in. Realized the field, the two players there, and just bisected them really well. So very good batting by Otney, and he batting at number 4. He's really known for his off spin bowling, but today I think he's really going well. 20 off 10 balls.
Yes, and that shot brought up the 100 for the Hikers, and it also brought up the highest third wicket partnership so far for the tournament, which is 37 now with that wide. 39 with that wide.
Yeah, these wides, could cost breakers the game, and so Jeremy needs to bowl a more consistent line. Yes, I understand the plan, but he has to execute better than this.
This one is struck very firmly, but it goes straight to the man at the deep mid-wicket boundary. Thomas sends in the return. There's only time for a single. 106 for 2 in the 9th. 8 deliveries remaining.
8 deliveries, and certainly the last over is going to be an interesting one. Who do you think is going to bowl that one, Alonso?
Most likely it will be Johnson. I don't think he has bowled out so far. So Dillon would bowl from the southern end. This one is another wide. So he's given them not only the wide runs, but they will have more deliveries. So more opportunities to get the scoring shots away later on in the over with the extra deliveries.
But as I'm sure Dillon is warming up to come and finish off, in fine style for his team as he has done before, Jeremy would be a bit disappointed here that he has bowled so many wides in this 2-over spell. As he pull out that one, Alonso, because he has now gone for only 15 runs from 10 deliveries, and at least he has bowled about 6 runs, so which means about 6 wides. He has bowled 6 wides. That's an entire over.
Yeah, he would have finished his spell a long time ago, if not for the wides, and he would have had a lot better figures as well. And this one has been connected down the ground for 6. There's no doubt about that one from Maloney. And so with that shot, that blow, it takes the score up to 113 for 2. And there's still 7 deliveries remaining. How many will they get?
That's a super shot there by Desron. If you realize he held his bat straight, right, and he had to slightly angle it because the ball was going down leg or into leg stump. So really, really top shot. A lot of batsmen would have been tempted to play across that ball. Really, really well. I think Sunil could take some note from that shot. play there by Desmond when he comes out to bat later on. Hitting down the ground. Excellent shot by Desmond Maloney.
Yes, as you mentioned, it was around midland leg, and he was able to get it slightly on the offside back over the bowler's head for 6, and so slightly inside out in his hitting on that occasion. But a very good shot. 113 for 2, 7 deliveries remaining. Maloney on 27 off 18 deliveries. As we see some of the spectators in the crowd, some of them looking more a little bit disgruntled, so you know who they might be supporting, and some of them looking quite contented.
What I'm seeing in the stand there, I'm seeing breaker stop, and I think I see a hiker stop there. So these are two of the popular teams, probably the two champions, breakers in edition 1, and in the second edition, the Loss of Ray hikers. So no doubt they are favorites in this tournament. Strikers and the others will be looking to say something about that when it comes to this finals in this third edition.
Yes, absolutely. All the other teams will be wanting to turn them over from the tabletop, as we would say, as Lane attempts to finish his over now. And I said attempts for a reason, because he has been bowling several wides, and he has bowled another one there, 114 for 2, still 7 deliveries remaining. I think that's about his 8th wide.
Yeah, this is unacceptable from Jeremy Lane. Poor. He has been around at this level for some time now, and the team certainly would expect more consistency from him with his execution. So quite poor from Jeremy thus far.
This one is skied, should be taken. Fielder gets under it, and that's a very well judged catch. Good catch taken there by the fieldsman there. And it seems to be, is it Hooper? No, it's not Hooper, it's Denson Hoyt. So Hoyt has taken probably his 4th or 5th catch of the tournament so far, and he has looked very safe in the field.
Yeah, he doesn't drop those catches. He's really good in the field, really good hands. A talented cricketer, but in the field and when the ball is in his hand as well. So that's good. That's a big wicket there for breakers going into the final over. But we see, I think, Benetton Stapleton. I think he's walking to the crease now. And these two players are capable of clearing the boundary. But I think at this point, with O'Neill in a bit of a flow, 21 from 11 balls, maybe Benetton might be looking to give O'Neill the strike to finish off this innings.
Yes, that should certainly be the case. I mean, of course, if he sees it in his era, he'll still have a go. But the aim should really be as much as possible to get Lewis on strike, who's striking at almost 200, who has been having a good innings so far. And there are only 6 deliveries left, so you want to maximize these 6 deliveries as best you can.
Well, I think anything less than 10 runs off this DeLon Johnson's over would probably be a success for the breakers. They have to now try to see how they can limit these guys under 125. It's still going to be a difficult target. It's going to be a difficult target, but the breakers would still have to come out and be confident. Again, on the back of their minds, I'm sure they're still thinking of that defeat yesterday, where they were unable to chase 80 something, just 80 something. So this is an uphill task for them, even at this 114 with nine overs gone. But let's see what Benetton says this over.
This one is cut. Oh my goodness, that would have been a fabulous catch. I think that was it Joseph? Who was running back there, Kenzie Joseph. Yes, from the backward point region. Those catches are very hard to take them over your head. Kish.
Really, really good attempt. Really good attempt. I didn't see that effort from Miles Basket when one went over his head yesterday though. But, still that was a difficult chance. 2 runs off the first ball of the over. Dillon would be looking to finish without any boundary in this over, but I'm sure that the hikers would be looking to clear the rope at least twice in this final over.
Yes, and Miles would say that he probably taught Kensley at North Union, so he has the benefit of age on his side as an excuse.
Valid point. That would be.
This one is struck very fiercely, and it's in the gap. Very good work there by Sunil, showing his football skills. They are looking for 3. No, they decide against it. So 2 runs there to Benetton. So far, they have just taken 4 runs from the 2 deliveries.
Yeah, and you would expect them to get at least one boundary this over. So even they get 2 runs off these deliveries, it's not bad. They can still get a boundary, and that would take them to close to 12 runs off the over, if not more. So it's still a good over so far for the hikers.
And that's a dot ball, and that is what the salt pond breakers would want to see more of in these last 3 deliveries, more dot deliveries.
Yeah, well, that is experience clearly from Dylan Johns today. Just pulling back the length a bit and slowing down the pace of the ball. It's difficult to hit it that way, so really good bowling there by Dylan Johnson.
This time he's a little bit too wide. He was looking for that full wide Yorker, but just wide of the mark there, and so called by umpire Butler.
Another wide, another extra. Certainly helpful. 15 extras thus far. Wow, in 10 overs cricket. You know, yeah, it's 10 over. That is poor. I'm sure Captain Ambris would have something to say to the bowlers about that, and their coach Orlando Jackson.
This one is struck firmly, but straight to the man down at the long off boundary, which is the captain, Sunil Ambrose. So only a single taken by Bennington. So far, so good by Dylan Johnson in the context of what we have had so far in this innings.
But 6 runs so far. I was saying that maybe O'Neil being the one in form so far for this innings, 21 from 11 balls. Maybe Bennington should have probably looked to give him the strike earlier. Let us see how O'Neil finishes with these final 2 deliveries of the 10th over and of the innings. But 120 is still a good score. I think anything from here would be bonus. At least that is what the hikers might be thinking. Captain Ambris and his team probably thinking otherwise.
So let's see how Johnson goes here to Lewis. He beats him with that one short delivery. And I could have told you before that delivery that I was expecting that length from Dylan and not anything pitched up in the half of Lewis.
Yeah, in this short format of the game, experience counts. You can't beat experience, and that is just Dylan Johnson, you know, showing all the experience he has gained over the years. Final ball of the innings also.
And Dylan will also be glad with that. They will try to get 2. So they cross now, they run. Should be run out. Let's see what the umpire says. Apparently he gets there safely. The throw was a little weak. It wasn't a strong throw by any means from the man running in from mid-wicket. So 122 for 3 off their 10 overs, the last 3 hikers. What do you make of the innings, Kish?
Yeah, good finish by Dylan Johnson. They only 8 runs off that over without a boundary. So certainly a good over for them. The kind of finish that Sunil would have been hoping for, but 122 is still a very good score in 10 overs cricket, and no doubt and breakers won't have a choice more than to think that they can accomplish this target. Yesterday started out really well. However, just after losing the first wicket, then that is when the innings everything just fell apart. So they're going to go and think that they have to go about the approach to chase these runs positively. They will have to get some sort of confidence still, regardless of what. However, with the Douglas leading the innings at 52, Maloney 27 from 19, O'Neil 23. They are going to think that that's a really good knock and they can defend this target. So really good performance there by the hikers. Batting, I think this is the second highest score in the tournament so far. They got 138, I think, before. The bowling performance, Dylan Johnson, the most experienced bowler in the tournament, he led the way there with only an economy of 7.5, 15 runs from 2 overs, wickets for Javon Samuel, Jeremy Haywood and Jeremy Lane. Jeremy bowled well, 5 dot balls as you see in 2 overs, but about 8 or so wides. You know, it's something he has to work on. Javon And Bristol himself would have expected a bit more, going at 15 runs per over there, 31 from his 2 overs. Extremely expensive. So an ordinary performance, I would say.
And God will collide. Hear them show spirits hang. Bring your fight, bring your friends. Come out hard to defend. Yeah. Whoa, whoa. From the ass. Bring your friends, come out hard to defend. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. From the ashes to the stadium. CPS, DJ. From the ashes to the stadium. CPS, DJ.
Welcome back to the Arnesville playing field where we are in match 12, on match day 6 of the Dream 11 VPL 3.0 from the ashes. And looking to rise from the ashes are the Saltpond Breakers after their defeat yesterday, but they have to overhaul a total of over 120 today. As with me, joining me in the commentary box now is Cricket West Indies selector Miles Bascom. Also joining him is Kishore Shallow. And Miles, welcome to the box.
Good afternoon, and thanks for having me. Good afternoon to the viewing audience. We have a lovely game ahead of us here, beautifully set up by the Lassifere Hikers, a very good target. The Saltpond Breakers will depend heavily on their captain and West Indies batsman Sule Ambrose if they are to get anywhere close to this target.
Yes, and about to open the bowling here for the Hikers, Courtney Lewis, who had a very good innings, 23 off 13. He was not out at the end. And he'll be bowling to Ambrose. The field, of course, you have, which is quite conventional from what we have seen so far in the tournament. They have a deep mid-wicket and a long on. And they are also starting with a slip. They would want to see the back of Ambrose quite early, the Hikers. So here we go. This one is called wide down the left side there by Lewis. And Miles, you have been playing in the tournament. What has the experience been like for you so far? We know you're an administrator, but you're still very much an active player. And this one is driven handsomely, one bounce over the boundary for 4. Good shot to start off there by Ambrose to open his account.
Yes, a lovely shot. Airing in his line and also length here is Lewis. Some room outside off stump. The field is definitely not set for that line. And Ambrose taking advantage. It has been good so far, Alanson.
Turn for the square there by Ambrose. Man quickly in from the mid-wicket boundary. Throw is a little bit awry, but no overthrows conceded. Backed up there by Douglas. You were saying, Miles?
Yes, it has been good going so far. It's taken all teams, I would say, some time, probably except for the Hikers, who seem, pretty much at home. The other teams are struggling a bit to get it right in terms of the batting, to get some consistency. A little bit has to do with the wickets being relatively fresh.
Defended there by Ozeka Williams. No run conceded. None for 6. And this one is a leg by on the leg stump line. He's trying not to err again as he did with Ambrose by giving too much room for the batsman to free his arms. So 6 without loss here in the first over. I'll come back to you with your comments at the end of the over, Miles, concerning the tournament for you thus far. This one is swept. Slight misfield. And the run is taken. You'll be disappointed with that, the fieldsman there. Had it under control, apparently, for most of it. The time it seemed to be Atticus. Atticus Brown, the fielder there. And that's a good shot by Ozeko. And it's 6 runs. Just a little too full by O'Neill. He gave that length to Ozeko, which he likes. He likes to drive down the ground. And that's 6 runs.
Yes, Oren again, actually full on middle stump. He did well to stay on the leg side of the delivery and actually power it over the short field at mid-off. Getting good enough contact to take it all the way over the rope. A lovely shot there by Ozeko.
Yeah, Miles, and after the first over, 14 runs, so they're on course to achieve that that target of 123. Good start by the Sarpon Breakers. Ambrose and 3 and 6 runs, and Williams as well after that last delivery, hitting a really classy shot over long off for 6 as well. As we introduce it, it's Cameron into the attack. He has bowled quite well in the tournament thus far.
Yes, he has bowled to the plan that they have set for him. I don't know whether or not that plan would be a good one to Ambrose. He is very keen on short and length deliveries. I would expect that he would want to be a little bit fuller.
Quick one, quick single. Good play, and that is what we expect from Sunil, to be trying to hit across the line of the ball. Same thing you're saying there. What would be the plan for Oziko, Miles?
Generally, he seems to prefer the ball full and straight. When he played against us, we bowled him outside off stump. He would swing and miss a few. So I suspect that might be a similar plan that they would adopt here.
Cameron in again. Wow. Beautiful shot there by Oziko, up to the challenge of the short ball, Miles.
Yes, and this is what I was talking about. They have used Straw this way. He has been bowling short, aggressive at times, but I think for both these players, once it's short and straight, they will generally take advantage of that length.
Yeah, really good shot there by Oziko. He's known for his hitting ability. Missed out in the second edition. I think he played for the President 11 then. When the fourth edition showed some potential with the bat. I think this third edition he'll be looking to show the investment in him. Oh, that's a short one, a bit too high. This time called wide by umpire Maria Abbott.
Yes, this plan is a little bit confusing to me. I see mid-on the boundary, and okay, so now I'm seeing a change that better reflects the plan that the bowler is working with. He's clearly going to be bowling short and asking the batsman to take on the fielders on the leg side boundary.
Good delivery there by Cameron. Good delivery. That ball. I think that is it. More like a plan. And sometimes, Miles, you should be able to look at the field and know the plan of the field, of the captain, and so on. But that, as you said, was a little confusing there. Do you think they're now going to try bowl a little shorter?
Well, I get the sense that was the initial plan, not to bring the ball up to the bat.
Yeah, and that one is pitched outside off stump. I think that again there's some confusion, not consistency there with the plan. As you saw, the field is clearly not set for that kind of bowling.
Correct. No sweeper on the offside. No, not even a third man. So any contact really through the offside should be valuable.
Good shot again on the onside. Picked up one, but obviously Dylan Douglas is not going to give them two there.
A very good fielder is Dylan. Came in off the boundary quite sharply. I'm interested to see what the plan for Sunil looks like. I see a deep point heading out to the boundary. The fielder at deep square is coming inside the circle, so there's a deep point and a deep mid wicket.
Hit on the offside there by Sunil to extra cover. Salvan Brown picks up the ball. I think that's clearly is a bit to allow Cameron to bowl a bit straighter to Ambrose and tell him, play straight. End of the second over, 22. I think at this very same point, the Hikers was at 22 for 1 with the loss of Salvan Brown then. So Ambrose and his team, they will be saying, well, we are right on par, and if we keep going, then that target is certainly gettable. Nice shot down to long on, sorry. As we see Art Neal bowling his second over.
Yeah, it was a bit expensive in the first. He would need to pull it back here to try to slow the momentum of the Sarpan breakers who, as was mentioned, are pretty much on target.
Art Neal again. That one was short and well picked up there for Bungry. 4 runs. Good shot there by Oziko Williams. I think he waited on that shot because the ball was a bit slow into the pitch. And well played. I think maybe he thought that he could have gotten 6 runs there.
Yes, he deliberately went under it and got it over the field inside the circle. Didn't get enough contact to get it all the way over the rope. But I still think that this is a poor plan to Williams.
Well bowled by Otney, well bowled. Dug out by Oziko though, but elaborate on that plan, Miles.
Yes, Williams prefers the ball straight, he prefers it full. He pulls reasonably well and he hits down the ground well. But generally outside the off stump, his offside stroke play leaves a lot to be desired, and I think they should be trying to force him to put more shots to the offside as opposed to bowling him straight or short.
See Otney again to Ambrose. Dot ball this time. Dot ball. Every dot ball is valuable in this run chase. Sunil would be mindful of that as well. Pressure shot there from Sunil down to long on, Miles. Do you think at what point do you feel that these guys will be, what is this run do you think they will look to get at the end of the power play?
They will want to be at least at 40 at least.
Oh, that one is good length ball. Oziko, I think he took his eyes maybe off that one a little bit. Probably tried to hit it a little too hard to realizing that the wind is blowing in the opposite direction against where he's trying to hit the ball. But yeah, you were saying 40 maybe at the end of so they need 11 runs to get up to maybe the target after 4 miles.
Yes, they would definitely need for this over to be a big one to keep them within touching distance of the required run rate. I think the plan is really for Sunil to take a calculated risk, but really Oziko should be the person throwing caution to the wind, allowing Ambrose to battle a little bit deeper in the innings, because as long as he is there, then the breakers have a chance.
Cameron into the attack again. Beautiful shot there by Sunil down the ground. Just slightly outside off, I reckon. But Sunil played really good. We know that is one of his strengths. In fact, playing honor, but he went across slightly and hit it down the ground. Really good shot. It was a full toss as well. But good connection there. Good contact by Sunil Ambrose. Wow, that was a 6 all the way. Good contact there again by Sunil Ambrose. A short and wide miles. Certainly was there for the offer.
Yes, and that is the difficulty in bowling to somebody who has shots all around the wicket. The first one full and straight and was clobbered down the ground. This one shorter and wider, and it just uses reach and get it over the field at backward point, and it was able to beat the sweeper on the offside boundary.
So a delivery of the over. Ooh. Missed out there, I think Sunil would say. He would accept the wide, but no doubt he missed out on that one.
Definitely. Any contact onto that one with two feelers short inside the 30-yard circle on the behind square on the leg side, he definitely was aiming to get that up and over those feelers and probably for maximum even.
Miles, as captain, how difficult it is for you to defend in this power play, in this T10 format? That ball, valuable that ball there from Cameron to Sunil Ambrose. I think he tried to tuck that one on the onside, but definitely should have gone on the outside. But yes, Miles, how difficult it is to captain the team in these first 4 overs?
It's pretty difficult, especially if you are playing against players who are good at hitting the ball on both sides of the wicket. You have to set plans and stick to those plans.
Beautiful shot again down the ground by Ambrose. A repeat of that shot earlier in the over. Another valuable 4 runs and 44 above that mark, Miles. But again, the pressure of a captain is now in these 4 overs where you could only have 2 players on the field outside the circle.
Correct. And Ambrose is taking full advantage here. He moves to his off stump. He was in position probably just outside off stump. Really limiting the areas that the bowler can bowl that he cannot reach the ball, especially when you have 2 men inside the circle behind square on the leg side, a third man who is also inside the circle on the off side, and 2 men up in mid-on and mid-off.
15 runs off the over so far. Shot by Sunil Ambrose. I think that one bounced once into the boundary. So 4 runs for Sunil. Nice shot, and we know he's capable of that, but really good shot. An expensive over thus far with 1 delivery to go, Miles.
Yes, it was always going to be a difficult proposition for Straw bowling at these two batsmen. Sunil, obviously West Indies player, a lot of class, and Oziko, whose mission is to destroy.
Oh, and that's a wide. I think, no, that ball. The umpires have been spot on today, but I think 19 runs off that over, and very expensive. Completed his 2 overs. Cameron Shaw, 27 runs. Anthony Lewis completed his for 20 runs, but we see Sunil Ambrose at the top there, 28 from 14, and Oziko Williams supporting him really nicely, 16 from 10, a total of 48 runs without loss. And it'll be interesting to see where the hikers were at this point. Our statistician Daiketo would be able to assess us soon, but really good start from the breakers in this run chase, Miles.
Yes, a very good start. Just what the doctor ordered, I would say. 43.
The hikers were 43 for 1 at this point.
Alright, so the score is 48 without loss after 4. Southern Breakers would be very happy with that. They would want Oziko to keep pushing, keep applying pressure, and that should allow Sunil to be able to again take the calculated risk, rotate the strike, and back deep.
Good start by Bojo Matthews on the 19 cricketer, a really good young player. But that's a good rotation of the strike there, Miles.
Yes, and this is what Williams has to do. When he doesn't get a ball that he can hit away, he needs to be able to turn the strike over to Ambrose.
Audrey again into Sunil Ambrose. Short ball. Ambrose probably not getting as much onto that as he wanted to. So just has to second for 1.
Yes, a fair bit of pace on that one. Actually got some bounce, got up to shoulder height thereabouts for Ambrose. And we have been seeing quite a bit of that from this end.
That's up in the air. 6 runs for Oziko, and they brought up the 50 partnership in the last delivery. So that's 56 now for the first wicket partnership, Miles. Good going.
Very good going. Very good going. And again, it's full and straight to Oziko, right in his arc. And it is his task, his duty even to take on the bowling here. And he did that and did it very well.
Yeah, really, really good start here by the Breakers. Sharp ball, good bowling by OJ Matthews. Good comeback, I would say. Oziko, again, smartly giving the strike to Sunil Ambris. 1. Miles, I'm sure you more than any of us remember yesterday Breakers started really well too. Another sharp ball by OJ. Clearly bowling to a plan here. Good execution.
Yes, getting some variable bongs from this end. Some really getting high. This one again getting up to about midriff or chest height to Sunil. I'm not being able to control it, to hit it powerfully.
Good shot, good shot. I think the fielder is going to get this one. Good run in between the wickets. A quick, good run, good completion. Another 2 and all. A cricket sin, I would say. Batsman robbed himself of a single, of 1. Running short. So just a single of that final delivery of the 5th over. However, 60, and if I recall well, the Hikers at this point also was at 60. So on course, I would say 30 from 16 for Ambris and 26 off 14 for Oziko Williams. Another good start by the Breakers. Would they be able to complete this today, Miles?
Well, so
before you, should I say, what message would you give to them today that you give to your bowlers yesterday at this point?
Get Ambris out.
It is that simple. Get Ambris out.
Yes, he's really the mainstay of the batting here. As if his wicket is to fall, it really sends shockwaves to the rest of the team. And that is why it is important, the role that Oziko is playing, getting the boundaries, and when he doesn't get the boundaries, he gets singles, keeping the pressure off of Ambris. He does not have to go helter-skelter. He does not have to go at everything. He can take the opportunities as they come, take the calculated risks, and just rotate and give the strike back to Oziko, which I think he will be trying to do and trying to bat as deep as possible.
Benetton Stapleton into the attack. A nice play shot there by Sunil Ambris. A little watch for a bit of a misfield. Quick run. Oh. And 2 runs. That is certainly a gift there to the Breakers.
It looked pretty close at the non-strikers end. I believe a direct hit there might have seen the fall of Oziko Williams. But the fielder miss and 1 more run to South Pond Breakers.
Stapleton again. Oh. Wow. Outside off stump maybe. Sunil tried to go across the line there. It'll be interesting to see that replay.
He got a long way outside off stump, trying to beat the fielder at backward square. Trying to lap it over his head. So I would say a very good decision by the umpire.
Yeah, it's certainly outside off. Certainly outside off, and I must say ITFX is on the ball today with these replays. A sharp ball there by Benetton Stapleton. Oziko obviously trying to go with that. Trying to go over mid-wicket bungle for 6.
Yes, I really prefer this line to Oziko. I still don't think that he has the right feel, but the outside off stump line, we got him missing quite a lot of deliveries, a lot of dot balls where he swung and missed.
Shot. Beautiful shot there by Oziko Williams. Showing that he's not a one-dimensional player, but can go on the offside as well. Really good shot there.
Right. So my point here is that he should have had a sweeper there, probably square leg inside the circle, and a sweep on the offside. That would have been 1 run to the sweep on the boundary. A boundary, yes, but not as convincing a hit as those that he hit straight down the ground or those that he hit over the leg side.
Yeah, but we're still not seeing any adjustment to the field. So would you bring Todman off the boundary, Miles, or where would you get that sweeper from?
I would bring square leg inside the circle. And I would send out one of those point fielders to sweep.
Oh, ball long. Beautifully ball there by Benetton Stapleton. Excellent bowling, and that's a good comeback there. I guess bowling to the plan. The plan was maybe to bowl straight. Yeah, and just a swing really, man. Just a swing to the fence.
I was trying to decipher whether or not there was an inside edge. That one pitch about a foot outside off stump. Came back in. It seemed as it was a bit of a cutter. So it came back in, gripped the wicket and came back. Might have been an under edge. But in any case, it seemed to be headed straight for the stumps.
Yeah, and he just gave himself a bit too much room. Maybe trying to repeat that shot from last time, trying to go to the half stump. So went out leg a bit and give himself room. And then seeing the ball last minute angled in a bit, right? A bit of a cutter, as you said. And so went on to the stump. Nonetheless, good effort there from Stapleton, from Ozeko Williams, and good force over we are seeing here from Benetton Stapleton. 1 for 7 from his 5 deliveries. Good start for good effort here, and certainly Captain Maloney would be happy to see this here from Stapleton. Cian Sween now to the crease. Exciting player. I would say hasn't accomplished his true potential, and he will be certainly looking to put that right as Benetton Stapleton comes in for his final delivery of his first over. Good shot there, I think. Whoa! Seemed to just check that shot, Miles. At one point, it looked as though it was going to go all the way, but then held out a bit to Dillon, and you cannot hit this ball to Dillon. Did the ball held up in the wicket or something there?
I think it was another cutter.
Yeah.
Just run his hand down the side of the ball, grip the wicket, didn't come on as well as the batsman anticipated. Threw the shot a bit early, and I know as well as anyone that you do not give Dylan Douglas a chance to catch you, he will not put you down.
Yeah, he won't. But that shot, I've seen Cian Sween check those balls for 6 time and time again, and so it was really good bowling. Cutter held it back a little bit and just defeated Cian Sween there. 1 ball and he's gone. As we see, I think Sheldon Hooper comes to the crease, a fellow over the years, a few years, probably about 7 or so years ago, showed great promise. Hasn't played cricket for some time now, but he would be showing again that he's still capable of playing some explosive shots. Great catch there by Dylan Douglas as he comes into the attack. Dylan is developing into a nice all-rounder, Miles.
Yes, he's a true competitor. So he believes he can do it in the field with the batter, with the ball.
Easy single there to Sheldon, gets off the mark with 1. Also puts Captain Ambrose onto the strike. And Dylan will be looking to see how he can restrict Ambrose. What do you think his plans might be, Miles?
He generally tries to bowl back in the wicket. He doesn't try to turn it a lot. Just back in the wicket, a bit of pace. Doesn't want to give you much room. Back of the length and straight. Will force Ambrose to hit him to the big leg side.
Good shot there by Ambrose, but probably might only get 1. They're going to look for 2 though. No, it's not on. Good sharp feeling there from, I think, Carmelo Kane.
Yes, Ambrose not
good bowling. Sorry, Miles. Go on. That's good bowling there.
Yes. Again, he would know that Ambrose would not be so keen on hitting the ball in the air to the deep fielders.
Good shot there again into the gap. Is it? Oh yes, a bit of a misfield there. Should have been stopped, especially after that excellent effort from Carmelo and previous ball.
Yes, that was a good gap there by Hooper, hitting the ball, bisecting the fielder long on and deep mid wicket.
It's good effort there. Try to pace the gap there, but Maloney a little too quick for him to get any.
Yeah, so Douglas trying to vary his pace. The previous delivery a little bit slower and fuller.
Get on Douglas again. Short appeal, and Butzer pushes hand up. And Sheldon, and we see another. Was that cartwheel? What's that? Very good sensible ball, as Miles said there, changing his pace really well this time. A quicker one. And got the edge, Miles.
Yes, quicker, wider off stump, got a bit of extra bounce as we have been seeing a lot from this end, and just enough extra bounce to undo Hooper. A smart catch by the keeper as well, keeping his eyes on that one and taking a very good catch behind.
And we see Dylan Johnson. Dylan Johnson walks to the crease now to join his captain, Sunil Ambris. And the left and right combination here might probably help. Getting the throwing off the bowlers a little bit with the line. This is an interesting partnership. I think this partnership could determine whether the Breakers wins or not.
Yes, clearly Ambris wants to have with him somebody who is going to take on the bowling and give himself the best chance to bat late, right? To be there for overs number 8, 9, and 10, within touching distance of the score. I'm very sure that he would back himself to do that. So if we can get Johnson to give him a few lusty blows, as he is very much capable of doing, they would still be on target.
Dylan Johnson again. Oh, drop a chance given and not taken there by OJ Matthews. It was well bowled, well executed by Dylan Douglas, but Dylan smashed it to extra covers and put down. Yes,
and very unlike the Lassifre Hikers unit. They're usually very good catchers. OJ himself, a very good catcher. Let's hope that they won't have to rule that mistake.
Yeah, so Miles, at the end of 7 overs, Hikers at this point was 77 for 2. So they're not off the mark. And if I can recall, they were the 9th over, I think, was really good. Apart from the whites from Jeremy Lane, was really good. So the Breakers, especially with Sunil Ambris at the crease, would still think that they have a very good chance at reaching this 123 target.
They definitely will. They definitely will. Again, a lot will depend on whoever partners Ambris. If that person is able to get away the boundaries and allow Ambris just to guide the chase and keep it close, then they will definitely be in for a shout.
50 runs from 18 balls. Dylan Johnson is on strike. He's obviously at the crease with his captain, Sunil Ambris. And Benetton Stapleton comes in for his second over. Oh, big one, big shot. Held up in the wind. And Desmond Maloney takes a fine catch. He's gone. Dylan Johnson, a fellow that is capable of doing great destruction, Miles, has gone. The Breakers are going to feel that.
Yes, and it's another cutter here from Benetton, just dragging the pace off of it, forcing Johnson to really try to muster that one. And as was mentioned, it held up in the wind and just fell comfortably in the lap of Desmond Maloney at long on.
Yeah, and that's the challenge of hitting anything on the onside from this end for left-hander. As we see Andrew Thomas, another left-hander, comes to the crease, but I think Sunil Ambris is on strike because they cross. But they have to be very calculated with where they hit the ball. But this is a very important over of the game, the 8th over, where the Hikers scored something like 19 runs. Ambris would know where he would have that in the back of his mind. He would now have to, does he pick the bowler now, Miles, or he just has to go at every bowler?
Yes, well, at this point there is no calculation more important than the required run rate, and that is going to dictate that is going to dictate his strategy here going forward. Stapleton has been good. He recognizes that the ball is getting a bit of grip, and he is using, his cutters, just to vary the pace at which the ball gets to the batsman.
Ambrose, and he's gone. Juggled a couple times, but that's the wicket that the Hikers would have been looking for. Sonal Ambrose, the captain, most prolific batsman in the VPL history. He has gone, Miles.
Yes, and again, it's pace off from Stapleton, and Ambrose initially aiming to hit this one a lot straighter than it ended up. Just gripped the wicket and got the inside half of the bat, carried along with to the boundary, and in the end, well held by Straw, who almost made a meal of that one.
Yeah, certainly juggled that a few times. Good catch in the end, nonetheless. A required run rate now of 18.75. It's going to be difficult from here, Miles.
Yes, definitely with Ambrose now seeing the back of Ambrose. It's a very tall order here for the likes of Andrew Thomas and Denson Hoyt, who might be set to face his first few deliveries of VPL 3.0.
Well, Miles, we were just informed that Benetton Stapleton took a hat-trick. Yeah, he's actually on 4 balls now, and he has gone 4 wickets in 2 different overs. 2 balls the previous over, and then 2 this over. As he comes in again, pulled out, but so that's 4 wickets. Outstanding stats for Benetton Stapleton here. 4 wickets for 7 runs, 1.2 overs. Really, really excellent, extraordinary performance here by him today. As Andrew, is this a 5th one? No. And that one bunks into the boundary. Andrew Thomas is off the mark with a boundary.
Yes, good intent from Thomas. Stapleton clearly assessing the conditions well here, and so far has bowled pretty well to the conditions, using that little change up, that little off cutter, and wreaking havoc.
Oh, that one is a wide delivery. I could see the plan there from Benetton Stapleton, but really fine spell here so far. Really good over to the couple of overs, but he's into the halfway to the second one. 4 wickets, 12 runs so far. As he comes in again to Andrew Thomas. And that one is straight. Is it straight enough? Umpire said no, but still scampered you for a single. A leg by.
Yes, might have been too straight to the point that it's missing leg. The keeper was a fair way down leg already. That around the wicket angle, creating that angle that I guess the umpire is assuming would take the ball past leg stump.
And Denzel Hoyt is the new batsman at the crease. 2 more deliveries from Benetton Stapleton in this over. No time to second here for Denzel Hoyt. That ball to Denzel Hoyt, first ball. Denzel, I'm not sure if he has batted so far in this tournament, but a good player generally. But this seemed to be a little bit too much for them now, Miles. It'll be an uphill task to get to this 123 runs target, being 79 for 5 of 7.5 overs. So 2 more overs to go after this. Final ball of the over. And that one went down the leg side, was waiting. It's called wide. A belated call from Maria Abbots, I think, after a signal from umpire, but that square like that, it did not touch anything. Miles, how do you think that the breakers will be thinking that they can achieve this thing now, or are they thinking to get close to the target and up the run rate? As we see another dot ball there. Yeah, do you think they would just want to ensure that their stats going into the playoffs are good from here to give themselves a chance?
Yes, with this being the second loss on the trot, it you know, the positions in terms of the top four would start to play at the back of their minds. When you look at the Darkview Explorers and the way they have been playing, they're definitely looking like top contenders. The Latsupre Hikers, of course, topping the table and don't seem to be losing any momentum at all. Seem to be going from strength to strength. And then the Fort Charlotte Strikers, who would have defeated the Sarpan Breakers yesterday, we'll play them again tomorrow.
Dylan Johnson again. White ball. Call white. I was looking for, there was an appeal there. There was an appeal for stump, but I guess the ball was so slow, that delivery was so slow, that the batsman made it back to the crease.
Yeah, sensible bowling by Douglas, taking the pace off, knowing that the batsman has to come hard at him. Actually attempting to turn the ball now that he's bowling to a left-handed batsman. Good thinking here by Dylan Douglas.
Dylan again into Andrew Thomas. And just a wild swing, really, nothing else. Missed that ball completely. Good bowling by Dylan Douglas.
Yes, Douglas continues to vary his pace pretty well. Keeping the ball out of the arc, knowing that the only thing that can save the Breakers now would be a lot of lusty blows over the fence.
Shot squeeze onto the onside there by Densu Hoyt. Good bowling again by Dylan Douglas. No doubt the Sarpan Breakers being at the crease, they will still think that they need a couple sixes and anything is possible. Dylan into Andrew Thomas, the police officer. A nice hit, but only one. Densu, this is a chance, Miles, for Densu Hoy to, just get a few balls out the middle and get some confidence for the remainder of the tournament. As he hit this one, straight to point, but that is really good bowling there from Dylan Douglas, and got the better of Densu Hoyt, who was unable to do anything with that one. Opportunity missed there for Denzel to really get some form.
Yes, again, well bowled by Douglas. Hoyt being forced by the required rate to really have a go. Douglas just sending that one down, not imparting a lot of spin onto it. I think Hoyt was looking for a little bit of inward movement. Ended up playing just inside the line of that one that held its line and got the outside half of the bat and went straight to backward point.
Yeah, and good catch there by Benetton Stapleton. But really good bowling. 2 for 11 of 1.4. Certainly a contender for the man of the match, Dylan Douglas. As you see Joseph to the crease, Kenzie Joseph. First ball tucked away on the onside. On a slight misfield, they afforded the Breakers a second run. Should have only been one. So one final ball of the over. One final delivery of the spell from Dylan Douglas. He will be looking to keep this to a dot ball, or maybe one. It seems like there's going to be only one of this final delivery from Dylan Spell. 2 overs there, 2 for 14 he ends up. And the final over of the innings need the perfect 36 runs to win. Impossible? Far from. So let's see who is going to bowl his final over. But Miles, certainly you spoke yesterday about, we spoke about yesterday with the the Breakers. Losing that game yesterday, it has sort of stalled them, it would seem. You must be confident going into that match tomorrow morning, first match against Breakers tomorrow morning.
Yes, definitely. I couldn't ask for a better result. They have now gone 2 losses, and then to come up against us, we have the momentum, the Fort Charlotte Strikers. We still have to come and play the game on the day. But definitely, I would much prefer playing a team that would have come off 2 losses than a team that would have just defeated the defending champions.
Spencer into the bowling in final over. Good length delivery. Keeps it only to 1 leg by, I believe. 1 leg by. But yes, interesting, but nonetheless, Miles, tomorrow should be an interesting, because knowing Sonny Lambris and his team, they're going to want to get back to winning ways and get the momentum going as they look to secure a spot in the playoffs. So what would be the plan for you to counter that sort of need for revenge, I would say, or to get back to winning ways? Good heave there, but let's see if the wind again, the breeze again, that breeze coming across the ground. At one point, certainly looked like it's going for 6, but then it just held up in the wind, and a catch taken, a good judge catch, because he obviously had to compose himself and ensure that his feet were within the boundary rope. So good smart catch there by Camelo Kane. Good catch.
Yes, well judged. Very aware that there is a strong wind coming across the ground, in which that ball was hit into, and so he just waited, and sure enough, the wind did its job, and then he completed his.
Yeah, and a good wicket there for Spencer. You know, he is one who plays a lot of local cricket, but I think he hasn't really gotten a lot of chances in this VPL, and so I'm sure that would do his confidence a lot of good. But yes, Miles, so this encounter, I suspect, is all finished, but obviously the Breakers would be looking to still maybe close off with 100 runs to get some confidence going for tomorrow. Spencer, third ball of this final over. Well bowled, good line and length. Miss completed by Kensley Joseph.
Taking a few notes there from Stapleton. Spencer using the cutters, taking the pace off, making it very difficult for the batsman to time the delivery.
I think Sonny would certainly be feeling the pressure now. 2 defeats in 2 games. A short one. And only can get a single there. 2 more deliveries to go. Table opens up nicely though, in terms of the other teams, but clearly the Hikers are sailing, way ahead. 4 games, and we can safely say that they are undefeated. So the other teams would all feel as though they have a chance still of qualifying for the playoffs. So far we have been seeing good weather, Miles. Knockwood, this should continue, but the VPL, your thoughts on the VPL so far as a player, and from what you've seen of the others, the players, their perspective as well?
Yes, it has gone quite well so far. I think some teams are still, adapting, getting to know their team and their capabilities.
As we see the final ball of that 10th over, and it's a win for the Lassafray Hikers, favourites by all means in this 3rd edition of the VPL, and I could say that they represented the slogan of this tournament, from the ashes. They're really doing well, but great win, Miles, and yes, as you were saying, exciting tournament so far, I guess, for the players.
Yes, very much so. I think teams are now beginning to get into their stride. not much cricket would have been played prior to the start, probably just about a week of practice sessions. So a lot of guys would have been rusty, would have lacked some middle practice. So I expect that as the tournament goes on, that you would see players coming more and more into their own. So it makes for an interesting tournament. As we say, the hikers definitely leading from the front, playing some very good cricket, very consistent cricket. And the other teams would feel happy to see that the breakers, usually right up there with the best of them, are struggling a bit. They would hope that they would continue to stumble and give other teams an opportunity to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, well, certainly the tournament opens up nicely, but lots of free hikers. I'm sure a few teams will be looking to change their luck. Hopefully, it's not the case where they are peaking early. Alonso, as we welcome you back to the commentary box.
Yes, and the Breakers will be very disappointed with the 2 losses, but the confidence of the hikers will be sky high. Thus far in this tournament, they have won all their games quite easily. They have not been pushed so far in the tournament, and they are looking like true defending champions. And the thing about the Breakers is that they have to come back very early tomorrow and play another game after having muffed up 2 chases.
Yeah, and as Maz Bascom leaves the commentary box, I want to thank him and wish him well for his encounter tomorrow. But I'm sure that knowing the character, Sunil Ambrose, he's going to accept these 2 defeats. He's going to encourage his players that, it's good to get these defeats out the way as opportunities for learning and for improving. And he's going to look to put things right tomorrow.
Absolutely. And with 6 tournaments in the team, what you need to do is just ensure that you're in the final 4, because once you're in the final 4, you have an opportunity to win the game.
Well, yes, and we have seen where your luck can change. The other teams, divers, strikers, explorers, who has looked really well this season, this edition, they're all going to feel that they have a very good chance. The Botanical Gardens, they are struggling now, and it would probably take a miracle for them to get up there. But even they have a chance of qualifying. So it's still very interesting cricket to come, a lot of good cricket to come, I'm sure. And we just have to be lookout. Tomorrow encounters should determine, at least give us a good insight into who is going into the playoffs or not. But good opening, Alonso.
Yes, and tomorrow in game 1 at 11:30 a.m. local time, the Saltburn Breakers will take on the Fort Charlotte Strikers. And the second game of match day 7 will be the Botanical Gardens Rangers taking on the Darkview Explorers. So join us tomorrow. We will be back here with you for match day 7 of the Dream 11 VPL 3.0 from the Ashes. It was a good day, and goodbye from us. See you tomorrow.
No, that's a God will collide. Hear them shout.